Hello everyone, this is your head coach Kuya, and today for our Smash Ultimate Masterclass, we will be talking about reading roles. I hope you'll enjoy today's class. So how to read roles. This will be an in-depth guide on how to improve your ability to read an opponent's role, master the fundamentals behind rolling, and learn new strategies to help bring your punish game to the next level. So first we're going to talk about, the basics, the 101 about roles. Then we're going to go over reading dodges, how to help develop that skill set to read dodges. Then we're going to talk about tech options, then tech setups, and tech chasing. If you have any questions, you can always put in the comments below, or you can join us for our Discord live class where you ask right after the class is done. But yeah, bring questions and I'll be happy to help. So first, let's go over the basics of rolling. So how to do it is very simple. All you do is press your shield button and put left or right, and you'll get a roll. You'll gain brief invulnerability while moving in your respective direction, and spamming rolls punishes you with less iframes and more end lag. So this is kind of referring to the dodge staling that is in Smash Ultimate. In previous Smash games, dodge rolling or dodge staling was not a feature. But in this game, the more that you roll consecutively, you become more slow and then you get less iframes. If you could see the Kirby here, when he starts to be highlighted blue, that indicates his iframes. So that's when you can't really hit him at all. And the more you do it over time, the less iframes you get. And just to identify this as well, if you press shield and you press down at the same time, you'll get a spot dodge. So that one right there. A spot dodge is just kind of like a roll in place, I would say, or you're just dodging in place. And it has the same rules as roll staling, where like if you spam spot dodges a lot, you'll get less iframes, it'll be more laggy. All right, so let's now go into some common roll habits. So players tend to roll when the following happens. They whiff an attack. So as you can see here, let's say Steve throws it an F smash and it just misses the target. You could expect the Steve to roll to the left behind or roll to the right. If they sit in shield for a while, so let's say they're holding the shield button and they realize that they're not getting hit, but they still feel kind of pressured, they're most likely going to roll to try to reposition themselves because they feel a little bit too statuesque and they want to move. So that might also be an indicator of when they're going to roll. When they're cornered and like they roll past you. So this is a very common one with more campy opponents. So imagine a Samus or a Young Link that likes to go to one corner of the stage, throw out a lot of projectiles, and when they see you approaching, they're going to try to roll past you and run to the other side. That's what I'm kind of talking about when they're cornered and they don't want to deal with you at all, so they attempt to do a quick escape with a roll past you. And lastly, they want to roll past the projectile or attack. So they see you throwing out an attack or a projectile, and they think they could roll past it. Maybe like if you're Mario, you throw out a fireball, and they think they could roll past it with a fireball. With a roll. Or if you're throwing out aerials as like a Lucina, they try to roll through your sword attacks. These are the four main common habits that I see people rolling. And just identifying one of these four in your opponent can help you predict these rolls already. So let's take the first example. They whiff an attack. If I recognize that the Steve likes to roll after whiffing forward smashes, and I gain the knowledge that he likes to roll in towards the stage after whiffing, I could use that knowledge to position myself and punish the roll right after. Maybe as the Diddy Kong, I could just, instead of trying to chase him with something, I just simply turn to the left, get a grab because he's going to roll behind me, and I get a grab combo. And Diddy Kong's grab combo is fantastic. Now let's talk about tech options. So if you are ever knocked down in a fight, or if anyone's knocked down in a fight, and you're in tumble and you fall to the platform, you get four options, assuming you don't tech it. The first one, if you press left, you'll roll left, which would be this bottom right one here. If you press right when you're laying down, you would roll to the right, which is over here. If you press up, you get a normal get up. So you just stand up normally as if you were from laying down to the floor. And if you press any attack button like A or B, you'll do a get up attack. We're identifying this because if someone was to be knocked down and they don't tech it, these are their only four options. And it's important to identify how limited you are when you are on the ground, because that'll help you prepare for reading rolls. Something to also consider is you do get the same like iframes when you begin the roll, but you do have some vulnerability at the end of each of these options. And get up attack does have the most lag out of the four options, but it does give you like a hitbox when you're coming up. So it's a little bit of a give or take where you do get an aggressive option. So maybe your opponent's not holding shield next to you. You do get up attack and then get up. But if they shield it or you whiff the get up attack, you could get punished pretty hard. All right. So I was alluding to this in the last slide, but if you tech, or technically it's called a breakfall or an ukemi in Japanese, to perform this, you want to press the shield button before contacting the surface while tumbling. This will grant you intangibility and access to three options. So you know that you'll tech correctly if you get this kind of like circular animation, and then you get three options. You get either tech in place. Oh, there's a little typo there. Let me hide that. There's a tech in place where you just stand straight up right after teching. If you press left, you'll tech roll to the left, and if you press right, you'll tech roll to the right. So although it is very advised to tech every time you can, you get these three options, and they're generally a lot faster than just like tumbling down and just collapsing on the ground. So always, if you are being forced to tech, always go for it. All right. So let's talk about some tech setups now. So use low knockback moves to set up tech situations. So this could look like, Pikachu down tilt or a falling nair, maybe like with Mario or Yoshi. Most characters' nairs at low percents can set up a tech situation. And you want to pay attention to what your opponent does when they fall on the ground. Like, do they tech it or do they not tech it? What option do they tend to pick? Do they tend to roll in towards the stage? Do they like to roll away because they're scared of you? Do they like the normal get up? Try to keep those questions in mind. And lastly, do they mix up their options? So are they willing to like tech roll in for one time, and the second instance that they have to tech, they tech roll away? Uh, it is pretty rare to see that, but for the most part, you should be keeping these three questions in mind when you are setting up these tech situations on your opponent. All right. Now that we identified all of that tech rolling, just defining that foundation, now we could use our observations to predict opponents' rolls for a big punish. So let's say you knock them to the ground and they tech roll in towards the stage. You can wait for them to move into your range and hit a really big forward smash read or a grab or any other combo starter, because you are predicting that they're going to try to roll in to you. So just wait for them there. If they tend to roll away, you could run past the position that they fall in and then position yourself at their endpoint. So if they're rolling away, you want to physically run past them and put yourself in a range where you can punish when they finish their roll. Because remember, they're vulnerable at the end animation of the roll, not in the beginning. So go with them and then get your punish. And if they tend to get up attack, all you have to do is run up to where they're laying down and hold shield and let their get up attack tag your shield and then punish them with something out of shield. It doesn't have to be an up smash or an up B, although those are your fastest options, because get up attack is such a laggy move in general that you can probably just let go of shield or even parry it if you want to get fancy and get a forward smash out of it. Right, I have some examples for you all today to help really solidify what it looks like. So right now, this is my Yoshi on Elite Smash against a Kazuya. I use my down tilt to force a tech chase scenario, and from playing against this Kazuya, I have a feeling that he likes to hold in towards the stage when he's pressured because he wants to like have center stage. So I predict the roll in. So what I do is I get down tilt, I use the dash forward as a feint, and then I dash back, and then I get an F smash. And that cleans up the stock really early. And it's also very important to kill Kazuya really early, just because when he gets to 100%, he gets his rage drive, and that just gives him a really good command grab that I don't want to deal with. So ending his stock sub 100 is always really good. The second example I have is a bit more of a fun one. So Gan inside B can force a tech situation. This was against one of my clients. So thank you to you know who you are if you're watching this. This Pichu tends to roll either left or right, and they don't really do a normal get up or get up attacks. So because of that observation, I could just have full certainty that it's either a 50-50 to do these side Bs of going left or right. And that's much better odds compared to like the 1 in 4 RNG chance, like if he does a normal get up or a get up attack. And because of this observation, I'm able to connect multiple side Bs. One, go to left, two, to the right again, and then F smash to the left. So I get like 5 pretty clean reads just off of that observation. I'm not doing anything too fancy either. It's just well placed side Bs and a very flashy forward smash. Technically, I could have done up smash too to cover like more options, but I did want to style on my client a little bit. All right, let's do a quick recap before we end today's class here. So today's going to be an in-depth guide on how to improve your ability to read an opponent's roll. We talked about rolling, reading dodges, tech options, tech setups, and tech chasing. To roll, you just have to press shield and hold left or right to get your roll, and you can also press shield and down to do a spot dodge. Players tend to roll when the following happens: if they whiff an attack, if they sit in shield for a long time, if they're cornered and like to roll past you, or if they want to roll past a projectile or an attack. If you're ever knocked down, you get 4 options. You could either roll left, roll right, you do a normal get up, or you do a get up attack. If you are in tumble and you fall to a platform, you can press the shield button to perform a tech, and that lets you do a quick tech in place, a tech roll to the left, or a tech roll to the right. Try to use low knockback moves to set up a lot of tech situations like down tilts or nairs, and use these 3 questions. Do they tech it? What options do they tend to pick, or do they mix up their options? Pay attention to that to help your reading ability. I want you to use your observations to predict opponents' rolls for a big punish. So if they roll in, let them go to you. If they roll away, run past them and wait for them at the endpoint. And if they do a get up attack, hold shield, then punish them out of shield. In this example, I use down tilt to force a tech chase scenario. And I know that the Kazuya likes to roll in, so I get a feint, dash in, dash away, F smash. And Gan inside B can also force tech situations, so I can do multiple roll reads to kind of clean up the stock on this Pichu. And that is everything I have for you today. I will now take questions. And for everyone watching on YouTube, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.